Hi, I'm Lee Ide with Shepherd Financial, and this is the Monthly Minute. Successful investing, in our opinion, is done with a long-term focus. So this month we want to talk about some ways to review your investment accounts to give you the best opportunity for success. So where do we start? Well, Carl Richards says, portfolio design matters only so much as it influences your behavior. So what does that mean? Well, really he's talking about how much risk are we willing to take when we invest. The best place to start there is by doing a risk tolerance questionnaire. These can be found online, and every financial planner is going to have you fill one out before they invest your money. But that's not all. Some other things we'd recommend considering are, how did you respond last time the market was down? Say maybe March of 2020, or how did you respond in 2008? Another question we'd have you consider is, what's your time horizon? How frequently do you check your account? How frequently do you watch the market-related news, or how frequently do you check the stock market? Those are all things that are going to influence how you respond and how you behaviorally respond to your investments. Once you've got a good idea of your risk tolerance, the next thing we want to figure out is what's the right asset allocation for you. Well, what's an asset allocation? Well, it's essentially the mix between the amount of stocks or equity or company ownership you have in your portfolio versus the amount of bond, fixed income, or debt instruments that you have in your portfolio. So once you get your risk tolerance, you can figure out the right asset allocation. And then as we go back and review, you just want to make sure you can aggregate all of your accounts. So you may have a 401k at work, maybe you've got a taxable account with one company, an IRA, a Roth IRA. We want to make sure we've got the full picture to look at so you can see your overall allocation. Once you have a clear picture of your overall allocation, the next thing you want to do is figure out, do I need to make changes? You may not need to do anything, and if so, that's great. But if you do need to make changes, there are a few ways that you can do it. The first, by simply just adding cash. If you've got new cash going in, you can adjust your overall mix by adding cash. The next thing is, if I do make changes, is it going to create any tax consequences for me? So ideally, if you make changes, you don't want to create any additional tax. So if you have money in your 401k or an IRA or Roth IRA that's tax deferred, that's a good place to make changes so you don't have to create any tax. But really the overall goal of this exercise is to make sure that you're aligned with how you are as an overall investor and with your goals. We don't want this to become something where you're constantly making changes, because did you know, the more often you look at your portfolio, the more riskier you think investing is, which can lead to behavioral changes and you making changes that affect your overall performance. Hey, I hope this was helpful, and we hope you check back in next month for more helpful tips. Thanks.